Someone genuinely stop me if I ever say the words, I want to buy a motorcycle from Facebook Marketplace again. I will never in my days spend money on that godforsaken website again, okay? The worst human experience of my life, some of the worst human interactions I've ever had, Facebook Marketplace. And I got scammed. I got scammed. The very first bike that I bought, I get freaking rinsed on Facebook Marketplace. We talked about it in the last video, the Honda Navi. It's cool, it's a great bike. I really, really, really like that bike. I want it again. But I thought, you know, I was too heavy. Maybe I'm bringing the weight of the motorcycle down. You know, I'm only pushing 40 miles per hour. Maybe that's on me. Maybe I just need to lay off the chips and go to the gym a little bit more. Turns out we're wrong. So here's how the story goes. In the last video, I said I'm probably gonna sell the Honda Navi. I did sell the Honda Navi. It's gone. The Honda Navi is gone. Hooray. Not hooray. I don't have a motorcycle. I don't have a motorcycle going into summer 2026 in Florida. In Tampa, Florida, I don't have a motorcycle for the summer. Depression for me is at an all-time high right now. Anywho, the story of selling this motorcycle goes like this. After I listed my bike on Facebook Marketplace, I met some of the most ungodly, scummiest people on the planet. And the interactions that I had with some of these people made me truly start to reconsider the ideas that some of these dictators had. Because some people out there just have lost their minds, bro. Anyways, I finally met the guy who said he was gonna come out to buy my bike. It sold for lower than I really wanted. Whatever, cool. I bought the bike for 18, offered me 16. I was like, okay, cool. I bought it for 18. I was gonna sell it for 1,600, whatever. I take a loss of $200. That's fine, because I can stop talking to these people on Facebook Marketplace. Dear God. The guy comes by, of course, he says, you know, oh, let me try out the bike. Sure, cool. Do you have cash in hand? What do you want to do? He gives me the keys to his truck. Cool, that's fine. He gets on the bike, rides around the neighborhood, and he's like, okay, this is great. All the upgrades, they work fine. The bike works perfectly. This is great. And I said, yeah, man, the mechanic that I bought it from, he did a pretty good job on it. The bike was working perfectly for me, so I'm sure you're not gonna have any problems with it. Actually, I sold it for $1,550 because the LED lights that the guy changed on it, there's a weird adapter problem with the Navi when you put that on there, and you have to do something to change out the plugs in the front so all the turn signals work. I told him it's a $50 fix. Either, you know, give me to the end of the week and I'll fix it myself, or I'll sell it to you for $1,550 and you fix it yourself. He's like, well, I'm getting the bike for Daytona Bike Week. I'm just gonna take it. I'll fix it myself, whatever. We'll call it a $1,550. Cool, done deal. $1,550, we load the bike in his truck, he's gone. A couple days later is when it all starts falling apart. You know what, let me pull up the phone real quick so we can go over this piece by piece. He says, hey man, you mind shooting that guy a text and see what he did with the bike? I'm struggling to hit 40 miles per hour. And I'm like, you're struggling to hit 40? How are you struggling to hit 40? Like, I was hitting 40, I'm 6'3", right? Like 230, something like that, right? So I thought I was just weighing the bike down. You shouldn't be doing that. That guy was like 5'5", maybe like 160, something like that, right? Like, the bike should be moving at top performance. I thought I was just, you know, weighing it down. So then he sends me a video. He sends me a full-on video of him riding the bike, and sure enough, in the video, he is struggling to hit 40. And that just, in the back of my mind, I'm like, how does that make sense? You should at least be hitting like 50 at minimum on that thing, which we find out the Honda Navi does 50 miles per hour all day, regardless of if you're a fat monster like me, right? But you should be hitting 50 miles an hour at least. So the fact that we're constantly only hitting 40 is a sign for concern. That is a sign for concern on this bike. Okay, that's fair enough. So I'm like, I'm not sure. I thought I was the problem on the bike the whole time. I thought I was the problem. So we're texting back and forth, blah, blah, blah. He messaged me and he said, yeah, I don't know. I'm wondering if the bike, you know, is messing up because it was so cold out. Also, can you message that mechanic and see if he wants to rebuild the top end on his bike? And I was like, sure, yeah, I'll shoot him a text message. The mechanic guy really isn't responding to me at this point. I'm just like, red flag. Number one, told him make sure, you know, you use 0 ethanol gas. Me and the mechanic only use 0 ethanol with that 85 rating. And I told him, you know, maybe if you use a premium gas, maybe the bike will go faster. Maybe it'll perform better with 95 or whatever. And he was like, oh yeah, right on, cool, yeah, I'm using ethanol free too. You guys, good job, guys. And then the guy that I sold it to starts taking the bike apart. And I'm gonna put all these photos on screen, so don't worry about it. He said, oh, I'm taking the bike apart. I found the issue. And he sends me a photo, and the top cord of the carburetor isn't plugged into the carburetor. So all the air is just leaking into the top of the carb at all times, apparently. Apparently that was just a thing on this bike. And I mean, I never knew because I didn't take it apart. I trusted the guy that worked on it. I trusted that he did everything right and that everything was connected when I bought it. So I never took it apart. And I was just like, oh yeah, I mean, that'll do it, right? Like your fuel's not being mixed right. So the engine's not performing as it should. So he tries reconnecting it. He's like, this is weird. The carb cord isn't connecting right. I don't know what's going on. And I was just like, that's weird. So then the guy's like, okay, whatever. I guess I'll just buy a new carburetor because this one won't work. And I was like, this is weird, because he's trying to find a replacement piece for that carburetor that's in there. And I was just like, okay, well, the guy that I bought it from, a bunch of those pieces that he put on the Navi were actually from a scooter that he had. So maybe that's a scooter carburetor. And sure enough, the guy looks it up and he's like, son of a bitch, there it is. It's a scooter carburetor. So he's just like, okay, whatever. I'm gonna scrap this thing. I'm gonna put on an actual Navi carburetor. I'm like, okay, that should be the end of it. The carburetor should be the problem and we'll be done with this saga. Another two or 3 days rolls by. I'm assuming he puts on the new carb at this time. And he messages me again and he says, hey, can you ask that guy if he ever messed with the clutch? For whatever reason, this thing won't go past 40. And I'm like, with the new carb on it, the fuel's getting mixed right now, so the engine should be fine, right? All the fuel mixture should be fine, so the engine should be performing at its optimal level. And I was just like, even with the new carb? He said, yeah. And at this point, I told him that the mechanic that I messaged for him, he didn't even respond to me. This is like 2 or 3 days later. He opened the message, he saw the message, but he just never responded to me. And I'm like, there's no fucking way. There's just no way there's just no way me and this guy both got rinsed by this one man. So he's looking online and he said, oh, okay. He found something on Reddit where maybe the guy overfilled it with too much oil, so the gears or whatever is getting bogged down. And I'm just like, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, okay, sure, whatever. Maybe the motor's getting bogged down by too much oil. Whatever. That makes sense. Heavier oil makes sense. I hadn't even considered that yet. He asked me if I changed the oil. I didn't change the oil. I just bought that thing. I only had the Navi for maybe a month and a half, maybe 2 months. And I only put like 50 miles on it, maybe 50 or 100 miles on it. I didn't put a lot. I knew I wasn't keeping it, so I didn't really want to mess with the miles. I bought it at like 600 miles. I didn't want to put any more miles on it than what I listed it for. So I told him like, oh yeah, the guy said that he put more weight on the back ball bearings to try and drag the motorcycle down more to get more top end speed or some shit like that. Something. He said something like that. And he said, oh yeah, bingo, that's probably what it is. And I was like, okay, cool. This is probably the end of the saga. Wrong again. This is once again not the end of the saga. He messages me again. He says, well, lesson learned, not to buy a bike unless you know what you're buying. This guy had no idea how to work on bikes. Wrong weights that he attached to it thrashed the clutch, and the main seal is leaking oil. And the wrong carb smoked the spark plugs. Piston even saw damage from running too lean, and wrong exhaust. Just as everything that you would think is critically right is critically wrong on this bike. Here I am thinking that I made a great purchase on this freaking thing. I bought it for $1,800 thinking it was brand new with a bunch of mods. I'm like, oh, this thing's worth like $2,400. The dude screwed the entire pooch. This guy ruined the bike, bro. My first bike. I thought I got a great deal. I was wrong. I was fucking wrong. And again, I'm gonna show all the pictures on screen. So then I'm just like, oh my God, no wonder this thing isn't working. And he said, Jesus, man, this thing is fucked. It looks like it's been in a storm. He said, I'm pretty sure it's been in a flood or something. He takes apart the bike. The cables are like weirdly meshed back together from whatever the guy did. He said this bike was realistically worth like $950, if that. There's water lines on the clutch from where the flooded water might have been sitting. This thing might have been in a fucking flood. And I might have paid retail for it. I damn near paid retail thinking this bike was gonna be basically brand fucking new with all the mods. It's so bad. I mean, just look at it, dude. There's just these rings on it, and it's like it's rusted from sitting in water. I don't even know what that is. I don't even know what piece that is. And then on top of it, it's still going, bro. It's still going. There's still problems. The man then says, oh my God, the odometer might have been fucked with. So this bike that I got for $600 might not even, I mean, not $600, 600 miles, might not even have been 600 miles. Look at all the cables at the front of the bike. The front of the cables on the bike, he might have messed with the wiring on the odometer to run back the miles. Like, it's just, like I bought a bike from a genuine rat. Like a genuine fucking rat, bro. And I feel so bad for that guy. I feel bad for the guy that I sold it to, because I genuinely didn't know anything about that bike. I genuinely didn't know any of that stuff. I thought, again, I was just too heavy and I was weighing it down. And I sold him a piece of junk, honestly. At least I got most of my money back. That's the only thing I could say. And I still feel bad about it, because I sold that guy like a junk motorcycle. And I did like it. I genuinely liked that bike. That's the worst part. I sold it because it wasn't getting up to like not highway speeds, but like main street speeds in my area. So it makes me feel worse that it should have been getting there. It should have been getting there to those speeds that I was trying to achieve to ride on my main streets. And it just wasn't getting there because I bought a crap bike from a freaking crap guy. To think that my first bike was actually supposed to be a great experience for me, and it just got ruined because I bought it from Facebook Marketplace. This is my new golden rule about buying motorcycles. This is my new golden rule for motorcycles. No Facebook Marketplace. Oh, wait, it's backwards. Wait, it's backwards on camera. Okay, so long story short, yeah, the Honda Navi's gone. We are now a motorcycle channel with no motorcycle. This is the worst scenario. This is the genuine worst scenario. I have no idea what's about to happen. Honestly, I've been eyeing the R3. The R3 looks nice. I've been eyeing the R3. It looks super nice. A Kawasaki Vulcan also seems nice. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Maybe next video, it'll be like me going to the shop and seeing what's nice. Or at least if I buy a used bike, I'll probably buy it used from a dealership. I really don't want to buy from a dealership. I don't want the motorcycle payments. That's the only thing, is that I don't want another car payment. Like, that's gonna suck. That's really gonna suck. That's really why I bought that bike from Facebook Marketplace, because I just had the money to buy it outright. Yeah, fuck that guy. Fuck Facebook Marketplace. Genuinely one of the worst interactions I've ever had. There was a dude I was gonna go buy a bike from in Miami. Like, I literally called out of work because I was like, okay, this is a good bike. I'm gonna go to Miami, grab this one. Life is gonna be good. And we agreed upon a price. I told him, yeah, $2,000 is good. I'll take it. It was like an 08 Gixxer. It was an 08 Gixxer, and I was like, oh man, this thing looks nice. It has good miles on it. I'll take it. Cool. It's mine. Gimme. I told him to text me, so I have your phone number. I'll come down there and get it. As I'm getting in my car, right? As I'm getting to my car to go to U-Haul to get a trailer to go down there and get the bike, this freaking guy raises the price of the bike on the marketplace. $500. He raises it $500, and I'm just sitting there like, you motherfucker. So I text him, I'm like, hey, what's up? You raising the price on it? He's like, yeah, man, you know, I just need to get the best price I can, get the most money out of it for the bike. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, okay, you know what? Honestly, bro, you motherfucker.